The following is a presentation of the Matt Talk Podcast Network.
The mind of Pat Popolizio is a wondrous thing. And for you Pac wrestling fans, you'll get to go inside the mind of the Skip each and every episode here on the Pac Mentality Pop-Ins podcast. Now, here's your host, NC State Director of Athletics Digital Communications, Brian Reinhardt.
The action's picking up on the mat as the 8th-ranked NC State wrestling team will have 4 consecutive weeks of action against fellow ranked ACC foes. That and so much more to get into in this brand new episode of the Pac Mentality Pop-Ins podcast. Welcome back to the first and only NC State Athletics produced podcast. I'm your host, NC State Director of Athletics Digital Communications, Brian Reinhardt. And I'm joined kind of regularly, as long as it's during the season, by the head coach of the Wolfpack, Pat Popolizio.
Great to have you back, Brian.
Pat, great to be invited back into your office to tape this episode. Your home turf. A little bit of pressure on you today. No guests. We get to hear from the head coach this entire episode. I hope you carved up at lunch today.
Sure did. Had time, actually. You gave me a little extra time today, so appreciate that.
You pushed this back more and more later in the afternoon, so,
Let's try and get some work done.
Thought I had a stand-in appointment, but it's cool. You know, fans, don't forget this podcast is available on every podcast platform you can think of. Wherever you get your favorite podcast, make sure to subscribe and download the Pac Mentality Pop-Ins podcast so our numbers continue to grow. Shout out to David Troxler, killer review he left us on iTunes. And if you like what you hear from the NC State staff and wrestlers, leave us a good review on iTunes. It really helps us out. And Pat, before we get into what the Pac has been up to since the start of the ACC portion of the schedule got underway last weekend, we have to talk about a major announcement from USA Wrestling that had the entire world of wrestling buzzing this past week. USA Wrestling, along with local organizers North Carolina USA Wrestling and the Wolfpack Regional Training Center, have tabbed Reynolds Coliseum, home of the NC State wrestling team, to host the World Team Trials Challenge Tournament and the UWW Junior Freestyle World Team Trials in May. First off, explain what those two tournaments are and who competes in them.
Yeah, a lot going on right there.
That's a lot of words.
Yeah,
too.
A lot of words, and you're going to have to sharpen up on your freestyle skills. Okay, so we're going to get another event, put you to work for one more event. This is a great opportunity. You know, we've been working hard to branch out and try to create some new events right here in Raleigh, and very thankful and appreciative to all the people that worked extremely hard to make this happen, because it was a lot of work on many people's parts to get the facility, get everything worked out with the details, and USA Wrestling, you know, at the end of the day, taking a little bit of a chance, because wrestling to that kind of level has not been brought here to the state of North Carolina when you get to host an event like this. So there's a lot that goes into it. We got our work cut out for us, and I'm ready for the challenge and see how the state and the Southeast respond to packing that arena, because that's what it's going to come down to, is how many people can we get and show them that, hey, wrestling is big around here and people are going to support it. And I think some of this comes down to what's been happening on our college campus with some of our dual meets, so that helps. And looking forward to putting on a show that weekend.
And these are going to be the first major USA Wrestling competitions held on our campus here at NC State. From an NC State standpoint, how did this opportunity come about, and what went into the decision of having Reynolds be the host?
I think it started a little bit putting a bid in for the Final X. We were a little late on things, couldn't get the right date, and then this opportunity opened up, and we were able to convince them that, hey, this is a perfect venue. I don't know if you've seen Reynolds, but it's a perfect venue for the World Team Trials. It's going to be loud, rowdy fans. There's not a bad seat in this arena, and I think it's just a perfect area for the problem we have with a lot of our events. You know, we're in these certain areas of the country where, you know, you're there for wrestling, and then outside of that, you know, there's no, a lot of times restaurants aren't open to a certain time and it's a long wait. The luxury with Raleigh is I feel like it can handle, you know, the people that are going to be here for this event. The hotels, you can walk outside and, you know, you want to get some food or whatever it is you're looking to do. There's going to be a lot going on in Raleigh. The weather at that time of the year is going to be beautiful. So our sport needs to branch out and do some more things like this. So we're excited to host this.
You never answered my first question. What are these two tournaments?
Okay, so the two tournaments, you're going to go to the Las Vegas U.S. Open. You're going to qualify by placing in the top 7 there or winning tournaments like the Dave Schultz. There's a couple other tournaments throughout the year that if you win, you'll qualify for these trials. And at the end of the day, the winner of this tournament for the senior level gets to wrestle in the Final X. Like you take Nick, for example. Since he placed at the World Championships last year, he's automatically in the finals for the Final X. So the winner of this will be the guy that will wrestle those guys who placed that are already in the finals to make the U.S. team. On the UW 23 and under, that's where you're going to see 2 out of 3 representing Team USA. It's usually those guys that are on the 20 and under team find their way on a lot of times to the senior level down the road as they mature and get some more experience. So they kind of go hand in hand with each other. You also have the women's side and the Greco-Roman, so we get to see it all. I think this is just great for all levels of wrestling and people that can see some of the best in the world right here.
Now, tickets are not on sale yet, but we are going to share that info as soon as we have it, and we're going to pass it along to all fans. But from a recruiting standpoint, what does this mean to the program?
I think it just makes a statement, that people are here to support wrestling. Obviously, what our administration has done has been tremendous to kind of make this event happen because there was a lot of obstacles to go through. And with the hard work of everybody here in our department and the university shows that, hey, we're building, we're going in the right direction. There's a lot of other things that we're working on right now that I think are going to have a major impact on our program as we move forward over the next several years. But we have to continue to grow resources. An event like this puts us to that next level.
Sounds like a tease there. You're working on a lot of stuff, but you don't tell us what you're working on.
You'll see soon enough. There'll be major impact happening that can boost us to the next level.
I hope I get to. I'll
tell you before it goes public.
Okay, thank you. But back to current action with the NC State wrestling team. Sitting here in early February, the Pack is 13-2 overall and ranked number 8 this week in the coaches poll. 53 straight polls ranked in the top 10 dating back over the last 4 seasons. Pat, ACC action started last weekend. NC State came away with a 30-12 home win over rival Duke. Starting at heavyweight, NC State won the first 4 and jetted out to a commanding 20-0 lead. Your thoughts on the duel overall? Bonus points once again really paved the way for the team win.
Yeah, that was big getting the bonus points because there's definitely a lot of really good competitors with the Duke team. I think you saw those matches wrestled very hard and a lot of points being scored on both sides. And yeah, it was a good test for us right now. We were waiting to get our full lineup in there. We're getting closer to that, so that's a major benefit. But again, it's guys having to step up, score those bonus points to put us in position to win these duels, and that's what I like about where we're at as a team right now. We're gaining with leaders and different guys stepping up and having to be the guy that each week someone different, someone new, and that's what's making our team.
And what a stretch you guys have coming up. And of course, we're going to preview this weekend's duel at Virginia. But in this week's NWCA coaches poll, 5 of the 6 ACC teams are all ranked among the top 25. Your Wolfpack, of course, sits at number 8, but it just so happens NC State's final 4 duels are all against ranked foes. Number 23, Virginia, then the home finale against number 13, Pitt, and then closing out the regular season with road duels at number 17, North Carolina, and number 12, Virginia Tech. And what a great achievement by the ACC to have 5 teams ranked here in early February.
Yeah, this is probably one of the years where there's, every team is neck and neck with each other, and I think that makes for a great conference. Over the years, everybody's worked extremely hard to grow wrestling in the ACC, and I think you're seeing that right now. At any given day, someone new can step up and win, and it's making everybody better. Everybody's got to stay out there and stay hustling and working, and it's keeping everybody sharp, and that's what makes for a good conference and gets guys ready at the end of the year. And we look forward to the challenge because it's not going to be easy for us where we're at right now as a team. We're going to have to be ready to compete over the next month, and these guys know it, and our workouts have been being more and more focused in on quality, and guys have looked really good. So, we still got a lot of time to keep getting better, but I like where we're heading right now.
NC State will be in road action this weekend, traveling up to number 23 Virginia for a Friday night duel. The action is going to be streamed on ACC Network Extra, and of course, we're going to have tons of live coverage on Twitter at PackWrestle. Pat, Virginia's been ranked each of the last 2 weeks. They took on a new strategy this season, went duel heavy. This is going to be their 19th duel on the year compared to just one tournament. Coach Steve Garland, he's run things up there for a number of years. Always a tough challenge when you guys face this CAF squad.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Another New York guy. Coach Garland's done a phenomenal job over there. So I've known him, actually grew up same time wrestling in high school. So I've known him for a very long time, and he's done a really good job building that program and their fan base and whatnot, and they always come ready to wrestle. So I like the environment. We're getting ready to go in there. They're always rowdy. It should be for a great duel. They got a lot of really good guys right now, too. So we got to be ready to wrestle as we get up that way.
And it should be noted, everybody is among the Wolfpack's normal probable starters for the first time since that January duel at Ohio State. And, of course, health, it's never going to be perfect for everybody this late in the year, but you have to be happy at how things played out the last few weeks. You guys have won all the duels despite missing 3 top 12 guys in the weight class. A lot of guys got a lot of experience, and a lot of guys stepped up for you.
Absolutely. And that's a little bit of depth. The guys working hard and giving new guys opportunity. But, yeah, when we get everybody back 100%, we can be a very dangerous team. And that's the goal right now, is to week to week, day to day, just keep getting guys closer to being 100%. They're all in there working out, and we are – different workouts for different guys here and there, and that's the name of the game. We want to obviously wrestle the best guys we can, but also being cautious and not rushing somebody back too soon to have setbacks, and that's what we're paying attention to right now, and I got a lot of faith. Will's done a really good job working with our guys. We got Rob obviously in there. Our trainer's been on top of everything that we're working on, and some of the best doctors right here has helped tremendously. So we got a lot of confidence in what we're doing, and we will make sure our guys are ready to go. Everything is geared up towards postseason, but these dual meets do matter, and we want to put out a good product, and we will continue to do what we can to make sure we got the 10 best guys that are ready to go that day.
And Virginia had 7 of their starters ranked in the first NCAA coaches panel rankings, compared to NC State, which had 8. And that was without Sean Fowles, who wasn't eligible for the minimum number of matches, but now he is. He went to App State last weekend. But when you saw the NCAA coaches panel rankings last week, what were your thoughts on where your guys stood?
To be honest, I didn't even look at them right now.
All right.
Don't really
great
care.
Question.
Yep, good question. I have completely stayed away from rankings. Learned that the hard way. I will, as we get a little closer to the conference, I do pay attention to making sure, guys that are on the cusp, we can do what we can to qualify the weight for the conference. But at this point, I've told my guys, and it's shown in the years past, it doesn't matter where we're ranked, because when Tariq's ready to go, he's going to be a guy that's going to compete to win a national title. So put him 12, 15, 18 in the bracket, and I can promise you he's going to show up and do some damage there. So, yeah, I don't know. It's a fine balance, because you can overanalyze all that. Furthermore, I'm not a big fan of. I don't know too many sports that let their coaches rank people or teams. So I don't understand it, but we are doing it, and I don't know how many coaches actually pay attention to all the results that are happening weekend to weekend. But it's something we got to deal with. It's a process, and we hopefully can fine tune it and make it better. But to answer your question, I haven't really analyzed the rankings right now, and as we get closer, I will. But right now, we're just worried about getting our team better.
Should I show you my other questions before I ask them here?
Go ahead. That's good.
I feel like you really shot down that question.
I don't mind it. You said you had some tough questions for me today. I'm going to give you the straight, honest answer.
Virginia, they're sitting with a pair of top 10 wrestlers. Jack Mueller is number 5 at 125, and Jay Aiello is number 8 at 197. Mueller's an interesting story. Along with Sean Fowles and Hayden Hidley, he traveled to the U23 World Championships back in November. He was originally playing to redshirt, but came out of redshirt, and he's in action. He's been 9-0 this year. All bonus point wins. For you guys, it's going to be a heck of a matchup at 125.
Definitely. They were on the same team together. They've actually wrestled in the ACC finals, was it 2 years ago, I think it was? Or semifinals.
Semifinals.
Yeah. So that was another great match there. So we know we got a tough match ahead of us, and it's good. It's make both those guys better, and they're going to see each other probably. It could be a couple more times this year, depending on how things play out during the season. But I know that's a match, we got to be ready to go and wrestle our style, and it'll be a fun match. Those guys both put up points, both really good on the mat. So it's going to be some high-level wrestling right there.
And we just talked about Mueller coming out of redshirt, and you've been very fortunate during your time here. You've had guys redshirt and then go on to become All-Americans. Nick Wisdowski, Tommy Gant, Machiavello, Hayden, Tariq. They all took a redshirt season before becoming an All-American. But as a head coach, how hard is it to keep a guy in redshirt knowing that that guy could help you right away in a dual lineup?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, we're going through it right now. We got valuable options of guys that we could be using, but they're in redshirt. So it makes it challenging because you see a bright future for these guys, and it's not worth, pulling them out for a couple duels and then having a problem where you got two really, let's look at 84, say Trent's up there with Reenan. It's not worth him wrestling 2 or 3 matches and then having 2 good guys and only being able to wrestle one of them at the end of the year. So, those are things, we've made that decision. We're sticking with it. We're keeping these guys in red shirt, and we're focused on the guys that we have, and the future down the road is going to be very bright for these guys as they develop.
Great battle at 197 in this UVA duel. UVA's Ayala is up to number 8, while Malik McDonald has been in that 17 to 20 range all season, number 20 this week. How important is this match for Malik, who already has a top 10 win this season from that Nebraska duel?
Yeah, this is one that you got to look at during the season and see this coming and know that this is a big match for Malik. Obviously, being in conference, I think that's critical because it can sets the tone on a lot of different ways. Your path towards the end of the year, getting to that tournament, it could be a little easier. So anytime we're in conference, we got to be that much more focused and ready to wrestle. And the good news is I think Malik has been doing that, and his wrestling's looked the best it has all year in the room and out there when he's competing. And he's set his goals extremely high and has been very motivated to fix the mistakes that he's been making. And if you look, he's been hit some big moves. He'll score 4 or 5 takedowns on a guy, but get hit in a 6-point move, and it's killed momentum. And we fixed some of the things that's been happening to him. And this is one of those matches. I think you could see that we got to make sure we stay out of those big moves, and look forward to that matchup as well. And I'm sure Malik does. Both these guys are great competitors, and that's going to be one of the matches we're really looking forward to.
And 141 is a good matchup, a good test for both teams. UVA Sam Krivas is 16-6. He's number 19 in the coaches panel rankings. And this is a weight for NC State that underwent a change in the starter a few weeks back. Redshirt senior Jamel Morris got the starting nod the last 4 duels. And here's some impressive numbers for Morris. He's 4-0 in that span, all bonus point wins, and he has not conceded a point in the 4 matches. So Krivas has missed the last 2 duels, but no matter who gets the nod for UVA, you have to be excited to see Morris in-road action against a tough foe.
Yeah, and I'm happy for Morris. He's taken advantage of his opportunity that he has, and he's looked great, and he's got a great attitude. It's been good. It was from one brother, changing the lineup to EL to AL. So that's they're familiar with each other, and the styles are a little similar, but at the end of the day, the guy that is out there wrestling for us right now wants to and is excited to be there and showing. He's staying after practice, working on a lot of things, and sometimes that's how it works. You get your calling, you take advantage of it, and that's what you're seeing here. This kid's been in our program for 5 years. He never had the chance to start, and now he is, and he's got, basically 6 weeks to go out there and finish out his career on a positive note, and he has taken advantage of every opportunity, and I'm happy to see him out there succeeding.
App State, we talked about it was a good tournament for your redshirts. A lot of guys performed well, got good results. What did you take away from the App State Open?
We got to get better. No, there was a lot of positive. Sean going there, getting his matches in, he dominated, scoring a lot of points. Didn't wrestle him and Camacho. There was no need at this point in the season for those guys to compete. They practice with each other every day, so we decided to not have that. 33, Trombley had a solid tournament. We got to get better in certain positions, but I see a bright future out of him, and he'll continue to improve.
A lot of guys at 41 and 49.
Yeah, I think if you look and you see some of the results that these guys put up, Devlin went out there first time all year. He's been one of those guys that was a little banged up and goes out and makes the final. So, he had, I think, quietly had a nice little tournament right there, and that's kind of what we want to see, guys that have been in our room training, and all of a sudden you get them the opportunity to go out and compete, and they show up and did a good job. 49 guys were all over the place placing there. I think we put a couple guys on the podium, and AJ and Grippy both had some solid wins throughout the day. Fields was down at 41 first time down. So, again, another true freshman getting some good matches in. 57, I don't think we had anybody, right?
Trent up at 84.
Yeah.
Was the next one.
Trent dominated his way through the tournament, and that was something we're testing out, the weight class, and this was a good time to do it. There's 2 tournaments left. You had this one, App State, and the NCO tournament coming up, and we wanted to test 184 to see if we need to map out our lineup as we move forward. At the end of the season, we can make some weight changes to strengthen our lineup and put the best guys we have there. So that's something we're testing the waters with. And heavyweight, both guys got an opportunity to wrestle. We were trying to find some clarity there, but we find ourselves, again, right where we started, not knowing who really is the guy, knowing that we have 2 good quality guys, and we got to figure this out. Waiting for one of them to step up and really showcase and show us they want to be the guy. And that's what we need to see. We need to see aggressive wrestling. And we still got some time to figure it out, because I think in the ACC, heavyweight's pretty competitive. So all it's going to take is one guy getting a win over one of these ranked guys, and that's probably who we're going to roll with. And right now, we're dead even with 2 different styles and 2 good quality guys.
This weekend shaping up to be a good road test for NC State. Again, the 8th-ranked Wolfpack will travel up to number 23 Virginia this Friday, February 1st, for a 7 p.m. duel up in Charlottesville. The duel is going to be streamed on ACC Network Extra, and we're all going to have all kind of live updates on Twitter at PackWrestle. Pat, good luck to you and getting the guys this weekend up there.
Good. Are we going to get you on the bus with us, or are we taking the weekend off?
I have not seen our itinerary, but I have confirmed my reservation. Good
to hear. Good for you. We'll make sure we'll get you some food.
I was going to say, just waiting for my per diem. That's why I came over today.
Yep, I'll pack some extra cashews for you, so if you get a little hungry, I can throw you a few.
Going to be a great one, Wolfpack fans. I want to thank everybody for listening today. This is your Pack Mentality Pop-Ins podcast, covering all things NC State wrestling. Until next time, Wolfpack wrestling fans, go Pack.
Mentality Pop-Ins podcast is produced by the Mat Talk Podcast Network. For more wrestling podcasts, go to MatTalkOnline.com.